Quick reminder, everyone, this talk is intended for educational purposes only. We are not financial advisors. I did want to do something a little bit differently this evening. I've been talking a lot about breath and breath metrics in the Thinktank, and I realized that not everyone may be aware of what exactly it is I'm talking about. So some of my favorite breath metrics, basically what this is looking at is, some will call it market internals. There are a few that I like to track. One of them is going to be the advanced decline line. Other one is new lows. Basically what this in the bottom left here, if I make it full screen, what this is showing is the amount of new 52-week lows on the day. And so you could see today we had 116 new lows printed, and then I just have a reference SPX, the black line down here, just as a reference as to what's happening. And on the flip side of this, I have new highs. And so you could see there were 13 new highs on the day. And so when we look at what I'm interested in is the net. So we had 116 new lows, and 13 highs, gives us a net of negative 103. And so, you know, a lot of the times what we will see the media and the pundits do is, you know, last week it was the new coronavirus variant dropping markets. Today it'll be Powell's comments. But what we started to see here, and this is where it gets really interesting, is, remember the black line down here is SPX, so basically SPY. As we're continuing to test these all-time highs right through here and kind of trade in a range, what we see with breadth, what we see with internals, is that these were starting to kind of come in. And so what that can tell us, that this is not necessarily a signal to go short or anything like that. It's just a red flag that, you know, quote unquote, under the hood, things are starting to look weak. It can mean that, you know, we have the FANG, the generals kind of carrying the stock market. It could mean a number of things. But this is basically, you know, something we want to watch for, because all it really takes once you have waning breadth is some type of spark to send things lower. So that can be, you know, some type of headline. In this case, it was the new variant today, you know, Powell, whatever. But what we saw under the hood was that there was this weakness. And so markets have been weak for a couple of weeks now, despite us continuing to trade around highs. And so this is just something I like to look at, you know, to kind of get an early clue, an early idea as to what's happening with the internals, with the overall market. Now, if we had seen SPY continue to trade around these highs and our net high low metric was still trading in this 160, 150, 200 area and continuing to push higher, that's stronger confirmation that, you know, this rally is being backed up by the general market. So that's pretty much what I mean when I'm talking about breadth in the think tank, and I will share this chart in there from time to time. As far as what we're looking at right now, you know, we're at like 52-week lows on this thing. And so what that means moving forward, I don't really have any data as to whether or not it's an accurate signal moving forward or what that may mean. I generally look at it when we are trading at highs to get a sense of, you know, is this being backed by the overall market? Oh yeah, that COVID drop there kind of puts things into perspective.
Yeah.
But so that's what I'm looking at now. As far as jumping into the actual market, we've pulled back a bit here. Our last meeting was on the 16th. We were trading around that 470, and I'm sure it's in the notes, but what we were talking about then was the fib extension, that 470 area. Failed to really make a significant high over that.
Love it.
And now, what was that?
Love it. Significant high.
Yes, sir. And so now we are kind of pulling back. What I'm looking for moving forward, I've kind of highlighted this zone of interest here. And what this is the prior all-time high and then the 50 MA. I would not mind seeing some type of support through this zone. It may overshoot, it may test the 450, but some type of support through here, some type of structure that we can work with through here to start to get long again. Just kind of thinking with an open mind here and forward looking. And so as far as today's candle, I don't expect that we will be, just based on the candle analysis there, I don't expect that we'll be bouncing tomorrow. I mentioned in the think tank about midday or mid-morning that the 50 MA seems pretty likely at this point. And so watch the reaction there at the 50 MA, currently sitting at 452.5. That'll be a good reference point going forward. And then also the prior all-time high right there at 454. So I'm considering that a zone, as an area where we could start to maybe think about getting long again, potentially swings, things like that. I know the picture is going to look a little bit different on the Qs, as Qs have definitely been leading us. And so if you want to go ahead and take over, Mario, go ahead and pass it off to you. If you guys have questions about the breadth or anything, you could send me a message in the think tank. I'll be happy to help out with that.
Okay, so let's start with the Qs. Yes, sir. Take it back, please, so in case anybody needs some help with that. So yes, as Kyle explained, and that's a concept that we've been trying to drill you guys on a lot. I love the wording, because there's little nuances that we need to be looking for, right? So what we said is like, there's no significant new high right here, right? People tend to be overly aggressive, right? When you're expecting 390 and you see 391, it's like, oh my God, we're breaking out, whatever, right? And then it's just like, take it into context and make sure that you have the volume that is a high volume day, all that stuff, all that other stuff that we put into the mix to make it a higher odd trades. But in the end, when we're looking at the charts, what we want to see is like significant new highs, which basically confirms what we like to do, which is momentum, right? There's other trades that we do, but basically I think the bread and butter, the easier trades are always with the momentum. Try to get into those moves, the easier ones, the cleaner ones, those are the ones we're going to get. So this is the last time we met right here. So basically SPY was pretty close to highs. Qs were still right here. This is the last time we met, right? So we were working on this, and we're working on the extension 402. I think that from the next one we were aiming probably for 10. I don't remember the notes. I don't have it right here, but I think we're looking for probably 410 as a second target, right? So what happened is like something that is usual, right? We see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. We started counting, and I said, I think I posted a note in the tank telling that it all depends on how you count them. For me, it was like 7 days up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days up, right? Probably people will say like, wow, yeah, but this is not a day up. This is not a day up. This is not a day up. But the main move was like 7 days up. Then they gap it up, all-time highs, tested. The moment you see it failing, that's it. You're done. That's it, right? So this was a great trade right there. Once we started losing, it's pretty similar to what we do to the short side when I start seeing like you gap it down and then you start going green. So it's funny because like some of us will see it to the upside, but we don't see it to the downside. So we're just waiting for the place to get long, right? But if we see this right here, everybody will be buying, right? And it will be like, oh yeah, that's a long. But when we don't go the minus Qs, and that's what I gave you guys the little trick to trick your mind, basically. When we just go with the Qs, you don't see it as clear, right? You're like, oh my God, now I see it, right? So this was the clear point, right? At that point in time, you go to check the put call ratio, everybody was pretty much loading on calls, everything was going to go higher, everything. Main thing, and this is when we started working better as a team, is when Kyle is on top of the advanced decliners and all of that, so we start putting it all together with the intraday charts and everything. We say like, yeah, there's no way this is going to run, right? Then we come into one of the things that I analyze the most. You guys know that I'm pretty much, I don't care as much as price, too much on price, but more on volume. Like basically, you throw me any price, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check the volume. right? Because price is pretty much nothing without the volume. So when you come right here, you see like this is a 180, they call it 180 reversal, dark cloud candle. You can call it whatever, you know, red candle signal. They have so many names for that. All I care is like, this is like massive selling. In case you don't care, right here it is. Then we have the second day, massive selling right here, right? Of course, that move, that was a pretty long move. So you should expect some sideways move, especially because we're testing here. Then you look to your left. This is the other tool that we teach and that we use, right? The volume profile. So you can see it right here. There's a lot of accumulation. There's a lot of things going right here. We don't know if it's going to be accumulation or distribution, actually, what's going on, right? So we wait for the action. So we have this screen here. For me, that's not a long, not just yet. If I'm thinking of going long, I need to see momentum. So I need to see at least 401, 402, right? So then we have the short. So if you're short, you stay short. And then yesterday was like, you know, whatever, like what Kyle was trying to explain is like the market is going to move, right? Based on the actions of the actual traders and individuals that I trade in the market. So we start seeing this deterioration on the breadth, right? This rotation into sectors. And then the news guys are going to come up with some reason why we went down, right? Like oil, and then it was like, you know, the on-recon, you know, whatever, and now is the tapering speed and or whatever. But what we as technical analysts, we don't need that. We can read that for fun, but basically this is what's going on, right? So we have the red right here, and then this is what we have. So I have to agree with Kyle on where we are right now, right? Based on this one, based on the momentum that we carrying, I'm not gonna get bullish until I go over probably 402. Right? So 402 for 408, that's going to be like the first time that I'm going to probably start thinking, okay, probably let's get back into visiting those momentum trades based on the market stocks. Okay. So 402 for 408, and then we just start throwing our fibs, which is the easier part to do. Just, you know, all-time highs, you do the fibs, and that's it. You find your targets. Now, here's the thing, right? We should be testing at least the 50 MA, which will put us at 384, right? And I think we discussed this briefly the last meeting, right? So once we start getting into 384, now we're dealing with this zone right here. Not that I care about this zone, which is a price, but what I care about is all the volume that was made here. So once we start taking 384, we can probably go 373, and then we go into 368, right? So needless to say, I'm going to be looking for momentum to the short side tomorrow, under 393, under 390 for 384. So under 390, 384, based on how aggressive you trade. So you know that you should be trading 393 prior day's low, or you wait for the 390 based on whatever setup is that you're trading off. Then we should have a target one at 384, which is the 50 MA, which is the prior pivot, right? Once we start getting in here, what we're gonna have is like, I'm gonna spread this chart into pretty much two zones. This zone right here, right? And then this upper zone right here, which is 384 to 404, that's 20 points, but then we have 384 all the way to 364, okay? So I don't know how bad this is gonna get, and I don't know anything until the chart starts telling me that there's like a pattern, right? When we go into the weekly, and this is the reason why I'm not expecting it to bounce unless we have some, I don't know, news that actually people buy. This is a problem here that I see here, right? We have the massive move into the weekly chart. We have the 1-2, sort of 1-2. We don't have the volume, so I'm not going to go there 1, 2, 3. This is a breakout, just simple breakout, but we don't have the volume. We don't have even the pattern, right? So this is like low odds. We have to play it because your momentum plays. But once you see the big reversal right here, this is a big red candle. So what I'm expecting is just this candle to become my candle number one, higher than average volume right here, big red bar. So I'm looking to short, right? 388, and we should be probably 375, 380. Well, the targets that we discussed. When we go to the monthly, we don't see much, to be honest. This is what we have. We just have a massive extension into this 3 standard deviation. So that was the target. Everybody was long at the wrong time, I guess. So what we should be waiting is just for the pullback. The problem right here is I think it's going to take time first, but most likely because of the location, we're going to have a correction through price too. So we're going to have both of them, which is very painful for us option traders. We're going to have price, and it's not going to bounce fast enough for us to put swings. So I'm going to be very careful with the swings, especially to the longs. Okay, so that's the call for the Qs. Then we're gonna go to Apple, which is I'm just gonna do the big cap analysis and everything. So Apple is one of the few brighter spots along with MU. I think it's 4. I'm gonna give you like 3 or 4 that are on momentum. Pretty clean, pretty clear what we saw. This is the news from the car. Probably was not the car, probably was a self-cleaning, self-fixing kit that they selling for Apple 13 or something like that. So there's always something, you know, to justify the move. But the main thing we've been talking about, and you heard me like, I think it was like 2 weeks ago that I said it's been dead money, right? For 6 months. So now what we have is a massive base that is actually finally breaking out. This is the breakout point. This is where you get long for a momentum. And if you were here on Friday, this is a good entry, right? If you think this is going to be the level, right? So what you're buying is like, okay, right here. So what we're waiting is for confirmation of momentum. What we have is a great volume today, 232%, which is great for Apple, right? And then we have the 166 right there, which should be taken, right? Just based on momentum. Where should we go? Here's a problem. We have like 169 probably. So we have 170, 180, right? Momentum for Apple. Pretty simple. That's going to be a second day play just based on the daily chart. So this qualifies as a second day play. Most likely we're going to be, if at all, we're going to be open tomorrow over 165.60. So it's going to be second day play over all-time highs for 170. Did I say 169? Yeah, 169, 170, 180, which is the target, Opinicus target 180, I think it was, right? So not much to analyze on Apple. That's a pretty simple trade. We have Amazon. I don't want to spend too much time on this one because all I have to say is like, probably going to be looking at a trade off the point of control, right? What we have is a base. Again, another one, dead money, at least for the longer time frames, right? We're looking at the same pattern, up, sideways, up, sideways. So we're here out, sideways. We've been correcting through time. So there's a lot of accumulation right here. The volume, we can see it here, right? But we haven't been able to break, right? We have probably some good news on one day for whatever. The market probably, well, that was the day the market was making all-time highs. So people say like, wow, Amazon's lagging. Let's see if this one's the one that is going to break. So it will take the market higher. But as you see, the breadth, like what Kyle just explained, it was not there. So of course, Amazon is not going to run, right? So this is what we have. So where would I be interested in getting into Amazon, which is something that I don't do intraday, but I do it on a swing basis most of the times. Like if they, for some reason, if we have a couple bad days in the market, we start seeing 3350, which is the daily point of control. We start getting to the 3200. That's probably where I'm gonna start looking for an entry to Amazon, right? If I want to go momentum, you guys know how to do that. You just need a scanner in the morning telling you that Amazon is going to move. So you just take what 3628, but 3678, 3778, but that's a different type of analysis than what we're doing here, right? So basically Amazon, what I want to see is I want to see that point of control, right? Then we go to Microsoft, MSFT. And what we have here is we have a big space right here. We haven't, it's been a while since we have these big alligators mouths and, the big opening in our volume profiles, especially on the in daily ones. So what we have is like a massive accumulation at point of control. Then we have an attempt, not an attempt, we make all-time highs, new all-time highs, that we attempt to make significant new highs. We fail at all-time highs with all the dividends, all the, the news, earnings and everything. And then we start testing if people are still willing to pay up. So if people are still willing to pay up, what we should see is like more volume coming in here and this base holding. The longer we hold, the more we favor the break of the, for all-time highs. So we should be looking at alerts at 350. Now, can you trade it? Of course, you can always trade it. As intraday traders, you can always put 340 to 350, and that's a good trade. Make sure you put the team once we get over 349, 350. Now, if we're going to be analyzing this like we should, we should take into account that we have a big move to the other side too. So this is like a reversal play if you want to see it. If you, in case you have more clarity when it's like to the upside. This is basically, I think Benny was doing something similar to this. So once we go over here, once you take the 50 MA, the target is 301, right? So there's a short right there too, based on the market. Whatever the market does, we can start shorting probably Microsoft under 327. Let me just write that down, because we have a range now between 340 and 310. Let's call it a range, right? 340 and 310. But then once you start getting under 327, 325, you can do a momentum trade, because 325 to 310, that sounds good. And then probably on a bad market, we can get the 304. Remember, the bad market can get, like we saw it last year, guys. I know it's something to get used to, but once things start running either side, they can really get bad, like really fast, or good really fast too. So we always take into account both of the sides. So that's what Microsoft is. I'm going to be looking for momentum to the short side or trade that little range. The trade little range, I really don't want to do it unless I see massive volume. I probably favor the short side, which could be easier. So let's do the Netflix, which is the other one we see. Look at that volume right there. Look at the massive move today. So we were down today. What was that? 3%. After 3 solid days up, we hit the 700. We started selling off, right? How far can we pull back on this one? So let's do some fib work right here pretty fast. So we come right here and let's say we're going to do 480 to 700. So a 38% will put us at 619 right there. 619, 620. Pretty simple. 619, 620. So let's see the daily chart now. So 619, 620 is right here where my alert is, which is like 3 standard deviations to the move to the downside. So all we need is to break 640 and we go 620. We will have some trouble right here at 632. So if you're intraday trading this one, right, you need to get a really good entry right at the open, like 640, because at 631 you're gonna get 634, you may have some support. Once we break the 634, that could be your midday trade, or that could be your afternoon trade, or that could be your H trade. Once you hit the 634, it's clear space, target 620, and then we go all the way to probably 605. Okay, so that's Netflix. We're not really looking for that one in case we have a bad market. So what do I say? Under 640, under 640, under 625, under 621 for 605. And looking at that, once we start getting again like bullish into Netflix, I'll probably trade the fib retracement that we did here. So I think that's going to put us probably like a 50% retracement, probably 591, 600. So put on alert right there, 591, 600. Once we start hitting down there, I'll probably be interested in looking at Netflix as a bullish trade, not before. Can you do it on tomorrow? Yes, if we have news and we open at 680, 670, 665, okay, that changes the tone, right? But that will be chalk value for whoever's short today. They shorted 150% of the volume. So that's what we need. Some news, some chalk value, then we put it back in the thing. So Google, so for Google, what I'm thinking again is the point of control. I see the point of control right there, 2705. If you're a momentum trader, pure momentum trader, short the day, short today. And then this is what we're doing. We're just doing this little top right here after a massive run. So we're going to have like 3 or 4 days of 3 or 4 months out of, like what was that move? Pretty much 13, 15, 17 months just going higher. So needless to say, you throw a fib right here and any move is valid. Probably 2200 could be a target, right? But what I'm thinking is momentum. At least for momentum, we can take 2830 all the way to 2710. So the main target will be 2710, right? So Google's not looking good. Again, this can be chalk value because we're still in this range. So all we need to do in order to regain the volume, the bullishness in the chart, would be to open around the 2961. So if we open 2960, 2950, target is 30.20, and that's a small momentum trade, right? 29.60 for 30.20 for 3100. So that's Google. And then let's go into the metaverse. So Meta, I think Meta will, tomorrow's going to be the first day, right? With a new name, I think, with a new MRVS and BRS.
No, they push it into quarter 1.
Oh, they move it? Okay. Okay. So FB, Facebook, still Facebook. Okay, so still the Facebook. So this is what we were looking, right? We were looking at the weekly, monthly buy setup. It triggered and it hasn't failed, right? It hasn't failed. We're still working with this pullback right here. So it's not going to fail till we go 308. Now, how good is this going to be? I'm long this one as a swing. So it's not looking pretty good. I still got time, but this is not the type of pattern that I like. So what I want to see, of course, is I want to be a close. I want to see a close over 3,400. I'm sorry, 340, over 340, right? To start building up into that same monthly chart. So once I go 340, 342, 346, I need to see the buyers. And this will be probably just because of the market, but I need to see momentum. I don't want to trade this one until I see momentum. Now, what will be the next trade that I want to do? Probably if we get to 300, right? So we start testing right here into the 300, which is at 8 MA, into the monthly chart. We can go here, check the weekly, right? And the 300 will put us at 3 standard deviations, right? So we will be slightly oversold versus the mean, which will be 350. So 300 by 350, okay? But this is my main concern, right? This is my main concern. So I want to see 340. I don't want this to start gaining momentum. Now, if you want to go short, then that's a different trade, and you're probably gonna go 320 for 300 for 294, which is good, by the way. If you can get the proper entry, you can get good risk reward. But that's the one. That's the one. So 340. I want 340 to go back into the monthly buy in Facebook, and it's a modified entry because we already triggered. So we just trying to salvage the trade. Okay, so that's Facebook. Then if we go to Nvidia's momentum, pretty simple, right? So what we want to see is, like, we want to see the 286 by 346. This is 286, right? This is 286. The 346 is right here, the all-time highs. So what I want to see is, like, we have this massive move. We have the pullback. We held. This is 286, 286, 288. You can call it 288. Main thing I'm looking is all of this volume right here. So I know once we start losing 286, I don't have anybody to support me until we go all the way to 250, right? So I have in a sense, I have a way to calculate my risk to reward. So if I go back to 86, I'll probably be a buyer, and I trade it as a range. So I'm calling 286 to 346 because whoever wants to trade it as a momentum trade, we can take 346 to all-time highs. So Nvidia, I'm going to call it Momo for now, and this is going to be 286, 346. So 346 will be the Momo over 346 all-time highs, right? There's a second trade that can be done here, and that'll be to buy the 306. So 306, however, we need to see the pattern that we have. Let me double check the weekly. Let's see, the weekly is giving us something. So 306 will be around here. The problem, once we get to the 306, if we have the red bar right here, and then we want to have a red bar right here. So I'm more inclined either to let it bounce and get some of the whole range, or the momentum trade, right? That's my idea. I'm a little cautious right now, not trusting the market at this moment to be too aggressive to open those longs, right? So here's Roblox, and I think Roblox is pretty simple. What we're doing here is a monthly buy with a weekly breakout play for all-time highs. So we got this at the 80, the 100, the 140. We hit the target, extension target. What we had is a pullback into the prior break right here, 61%, 111. That happened Tuesday, Monday, Friday. So that was like probably last Tuesday, last Wednesday, when we had the proper setup for a daily buy retest of the breakout play. So this is your entry. If you didn't get it there, you're chasing now, right? What we have here is a 130, but we know there's a lot of activity right here. There's a lot. It doesn't look like much in here because we spent like four months into this accumulation phase, but this is big. This is big volume right here. So what I want to see is I want to see 142 for sure, right? Now, once we start testing 111, now you got to come and test your technical analysis skills and start looking at the daily, how it's looking, the weekly, how it's looking, start throwing your FIBS numbers. Because once you start getting below the 61%, FIB theory should suggest that we should not be making new all-time highs. So that's what happened right here, right? We tested 160, 61%. You get the entry right here. That was your entry to the long, and probably you were off today, right? You should have dumped it right here into whatever strength was there. So again, for this Roblox example, what I want to see is I want to see probably just the 142 Momo, okay? Put on alarm, put on alert at 112. Once we get to 112, we gotta run the numbers, we gotta run the charts again and make sure that we have a proper formation going on so we can take the trade. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be taking. It's just gambling for me right there. I don't know what to do. I don't have an edge right there. You did you check the options on this one? What did we agree on this one? Because I know last time we weren't sure that it was trading too much. Because what I like about this one is the buy setup right here on the monthly, on the daily.
It's just monthlies only, so
it's just monthlies only. Yeah, so that's, well, anyways, it's gonna be 190 probably once we start getting in here, or if we go 158 and we can get a decent entry right here, 158. But this basically, let me see the weekly, because the weekly may show us a better pattern of what's going on. And this is what I like, right? This is, we have the accumulation, we have the big move up, we have the pullback into the moving average. We see how good these things work, guys, right? Like 3 standard deviations right there. We touch it and then all the way to the 8MA. So it's the 8MA, the standard deviation. That's where you run all of your charts so you can get a bigger picture. So you know where we're going, how much can we see the move coming back. So this is what I'm looking, right? So basically an easy strategy, assuming this is a new uptrend, we should be making new highs right here. So 187 for 210, okay? You make a note that we only have monthlies. So for those of you that trade those or want to trade those, that's, I'm just going to throw it out there because I know it's becoming more popular. I don't know what they do, but I know it's some software for metaverse. So let's do another metaverse. Supposedly AMD. This one's very simple too. This is a momentum all-time high. So 164.50. Take it for 178, 180. No big deal right there, right? So AMD is a momentum trade. I think Qualcomm is a momentum trade too. All we want to see is a 190. So this is another one. I think this is similar to what we saw in, remind me, I think it was NVIDIA, right? I think it's NVIDIA, pretty similar chart. Let me just double check NVIDIA. Yes. So we have a massive run, probably on metaverse news, or, you know, here's a massive move. This is the one that is telling us like, okay, we're done accumulating. Now we're going to run this thing up, right? So we just need to find an entry. So here's around this time is the entry. Here's the breakout play, pretty simple. Check that one. Here's a pullback. So what we're looking is like, okay, look at these guys right here, right? If these guys are buyers and they intend to hold it, we should see 215, 220, right? So that's my target. So 190. So Qualcomm is a Momo trade again over 189, 190 for 220, right? And that can happen in one day, guys. Don't get scared when they see him, when you see him moving. Look at this, 167 to 183. So that's like 20 points. So 190 put us at 210, 220 on a good day, right? Just for fun, let's double check the monthly, the weekly. This is what we're doing. Almost trigger right here. But if you see last week, we didn't make much volume because it was a holiday week. So probably what we have is like, this is like a 1, 2, 3, and then we have massive volume right here. So we have a consolidation right here. So this is like a breakout play right here. I like it. 189, 190. Once we get it, I think we should be very long the Qualcomm. Look at the monthly, how beautiful it is. I want to zoom it in right here. It's a beautiful chart. So this is a great trade, right? So this is it, the monthly buy, we're 140, that's when we call it. That was the first one, 140, 165. Now we're into the momentum phase. So let's try to get it 180, 190, we said, yep. 189 for 220. That's what we're trying to do with the Qualcomm. And then we go some payments. I know they're not that hot today, but just gonna go briefly through this. Because with PayPal, check this monthly chart. So come right here. I'm going to throw my FIPS pretty fast right here. And that's where we are, right? So we are probably at the 50% retracement, 50 to 61. We're still not there. I know this would have been like the natural area to come back to. 150, 194. I think I tried the 194, the 200 didn't work. So I'm looking now for the 166. Now, when I come here to the daily, what I want to see is like any sign of a turn, because this is volume right here. There's a lot of volume these few days, and the market is falling. So this one's not. So what I want to see is like any signs of a reversal. So market down, PayPal as a reversal play. Needless to say, I'm going to repeat it again. When I do in the reversal plays, they have to work like right away, right? And I don't want to be too piggish as far as my targets. I know if it's a reversal, you can go back to all-time highs for all I care, right? But I know also that a lot of people that are trapped are going to be probably trying to get back to break even. You know what happened when you're down like couple $1,000 in a day and then you're down like 200, you just sell everything because you don't want to take the, right? You don't want to take the loss for the day. So basically that's what happened. And that's the, what is that bias called according to behavioral finance? That it hurts more to take the loss. So we're willing to take more heat when we're losing, but when you're making green, you want to take it like right out, right? You see $100 in green, you want to take it. You're down $400 and you still want to wait to see if he probably is going to come back. So you only lose 100. So that's what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen on these reversal trades. We get 190 at 200. A lot of people will be back to break even. They're going to be like, you know what? Let me take my money. I'm not losing money anymore. And I close it. So you're going to see some selling at the 200 and then 210. That's a different trade. That's what I have my alert right here at 215. And then we go for the actual turn. So what I'm looking is a PayPal as a reversal, but I want you guys to refer to the monthly chart, FIB extension, no, I'm sorry, FIB reversal, 61.8%. Let's see if we hold and if we see any kind of buyers at 194, I think it is, 192, 194, over 192, over 194, we can probably take a good scalp into 200, okay? So that's PayPal. So we don't get too bored just doing the same thing, right? Like the momentum, like the market's gonna come down, and you know, it's just so easy. So we just short or we just go long the momos. But in case we can find a trade like PayPal with a tight stop, we can always take it, right? Make sure you get paid for that, for the risk. So Affirm is another one that we watch. I have a weekly buy that I'm looking on this one. This is the one that I have on my notes. So we have the news, you know, all the partnerships, all the hype. It went from 60 to 180, so it's like a 300% move. Come back. This is the weekly buy. So I don't know if this is gonna be if this is a market actually. I don't want to try to buy it at 119, but I want to see once we start getting at least over this green bar right here, so which is like 130. I want to see if we get some strength. You see the volume right here. When you come into the monthly, you can see that the volume was between 118 to 134. So 134 is going to be interesting in this one to watch, right? It's right here. It's the 50 MA. That's what I'm bringing it up today, because probably we can run 134, 149 tomorrow. Okay, so let me write that down. Not sure how this one is been trading lately, but it could work. 134 for 149 as a reversal, right? And what we're doing is we're doing a weekly chart, right? You forget, you just come, put your weekly chart, you say, oh, okay, this guy is assuming that we have a 3-week pullback, and once we start getting back into the hammer, we're probably gonna go all-time highs, but we're gonna have to stop by 149, target 1, 180, target 2. Pretty simple. That's the game planning for that one, right? The firm. And then we have another one that looked interesting to me was a square. And here's the thing, right? If we do the same thing, look where we are. So we can still see 194. We can still see 165. Now, when we see here, we don't see a lot of, well, there's some volume right here, but we under that volume already. We under the 233. We can come into the monthly, into the daily chart. I'm sorry. And here's the point of control, 247, right? So once we start dealing, and I know this is called the dark cross or the death cross, you know, the 50 crosses, the 200 right here. So if we start seeing momentum, this could be a really nice momentum short. I don't know what's up with Square. I don't know what the news is. Here's a volume, big volume. And then today, volume started to increase. So Square, momentum trade under 205 for 190, target 1. Square under 205 for 190. Let me train your eyes right here, because I know you see it better to the long side. You're always giving me these fabulous trades to the long side. So this is what it is. This is how it looks. So if I put it like this, you're gonna put it as your main watch, right? And you're gonna say like, yeah, 205 for 187 and 180. From here, right? 187, 185, 180, 155. So we got a pretty decent trade right there, right? If it triggers again, same to the short side than to the long side, right? So that's a square. So 190 and what was the other one we said? 190, 194, 170. 205, 184, 190, 170. So that's square. Intel, I was checking it, didn't, I don't like trading Intel, guys, so I don't even want to waste my time or your time with that one. So let's see MU, this is what we're doing, right, guys? You guys remember, this is pretty simple. This is our monthly. We say we're looking at the monthly chart of MU for a monthly buy. So that's your monthly buy, 72. We are right in the middle of the range. So this one makes it, like, as far as the risk reward, from the monthly perspective, well, it's going to make it horrible, right? Because you're trying to get 84 for 12 points, but your risk is going to be like 16 points. So you don't want to do that, right? So what we do is we go into the weekly chart, and then we come in here and we know that, wow, 87.71 is right there, and we can probably take it for 93. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to play it so simple that MU, if for some reason, like KMD, like NVIDIA, they start a run, this one could give us a second run from 87 to 90, 95, 92 and 95. Momentum trade, that's going to be MU. Is that all-time highs? I think it's all-time highs. So the next one will be all-time highs. Yes, right. So all we're trying to do is try to get into this trade prior to the earnings, which is 12/20. We still got like 20 days, right? Run into earnings. I'm going to put it like that. Run into earnings to 96. And then we see what happens on it to earnings. This is a monthly. This is the one I'm trading, right? So MU, still a good trade. It looks good. It looks nice. So that's MU. I did some TSM, Taiwan Semi. I like the monthly. See, big run up, still correcting through time. So what we want to see is like 127, I think this one try to break one day right here. It failed, probably the same day that the market failed or 2 days later. So here's the other thing, guys. Like I have rules, right? Like some things that I know that are lower odds. So for one of the rules that I use is I don't usually buy like a wide range. the breakout of a wide range. So you don't think it's a wide range? Come look at here. We're trying to buy 130 with 110. So 108, that's like a 28, 30% range. So I don't want to be the guy buying the 128. If I want to take a chance at that, I'll probably try to buy it that day if I see it early in the morning at 123. Right? So my stop is like right there, 123. I don't want to risk like that much money, right? So that's another hint into how to address this type of monthly setups, right? Because then if you use the technical monthly setup, it's going to be too big for us intraday traders, right? So it doesn't make for a good risk reward, which is what I do, right? What we look to do, right? In the tank, we always look into asymmetrical trade opportunities, meaning you risk a little, you make a lot, right? When you're right. So Rivian, when are the options supposed to start trading? It's like 1 month from now, still? We don't know yet, right?
I think they are trading right now.
We have options for Rivian now? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. So Rivian, pretty simple, IPO, right? So the better trade will be over 135, right? 135 to 180. Now, this is kind of bullish right here, this formation. I want to wait probably for 125. So 125, 135 for 180. I thought they took longer than a month. I don't know how they trade, guys. By the way, I have never traded like IPOs this early with options. So if you're a stock trader, you know you can do them, not a problem. If you're an options trader, make sure you consult with Kyle, send him a DM or ask him, or he's gonna post it for us if what he thinks about the Rivian trades. Okay, options.
Red looks good just at a
Yep.
glance, so I think it's okay. Yeah.
Okay, let's keep an eye on that one and see how it trades. So this is Tesla. This is a range. This is a tradable range. This is a big range right here, right? So 984. This is the last time we spoke, so we were here. I don't know what was it called, but probably it was like from here to here. So I assume we hit it because that's what we do. So so we go here, no breakout play, not just yet. So let's see if there's another formation that we can trade, right? So we go into the weekly and sort of a base. We have the massive accumulation right here, sort of a bowl, a cup. I don't want to say cup because then immediately we think cup on handle and we don't have the handle right here. This could be the handle, but it should be lower. So I know the cup on handle has a lot of things, so that's why I don't want to call it a cup on handle, but let's assume this is like a bowl, like a accumulation zone. We broke, we tested right here. So all I want to see here is momentum. Look at the 1200 right here. So 1200, 1243, we go 1500, okay? So Tesla 1200, 1250, 1245 for 1500. That's the weekly chart for Tesla. Likely we're gonna start hearing the alerts, 1200, people posting, 1243, all-time highs, and then we go. Place your alerts. Otherwise, I'm not interested into that thing, right? It's like always something moving. Lucid is another one that I think we have a good call. Last time we said it's a momentum trade all the way for 60 and 65, but this is not the place where we call it. That was like 2 weeks ago. So 1116 will put us around here. And I think we needed the pullback. So this is a pullback pretty much right in here. So that's a range that we're trading right here in Lucid, right? What we want is 57 for 65, which is the second target I think we posted, right? This is a main trade, right? Look at the accumulation, all the news, they won the award, everything 41, 60, and 65. So that one's working. It's a momentum trade, 58.80 for 65. So LCID over 58 for 65. That could be for tomorrow. I don't know how he traded today. Oh, 95. Yeah, didn't have the volume today. So it's just like, and again, this one could give us like, If you traded probably last week, early last week, you will be around here. And I was in this trade and I was in this trade and it was a lot of trouble, right? So I think we tried to break it at the open and they ended up giving up by the open profits and I just closed for a small loss, right? Because it didn't go, but I was expecting this one to go, so it didn't go. Remember, it's trading, so don't expect to not fail. You know, it's a probabilities game. So you're gonna take some small losses as long as they're slow, the small, it doesn't matter. You just try again tomorrow if it's working, right? XPV, I know it's working. So it was setting up really good after the earnings, right? That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days ago. So that was last week. We have the earnings. We finally appeared to be moving. It didn't go this day. Market selling. This one is up here. Good volume today. 185. We come right here. We see the pattern. I like the pattern. This is the accumulation. We're triggering. As long as we are over 48.36, we're good, right? So this is easy. This is just momentum trading, guys. 55.60. 55.60 and what is this? Yeah, 56.60. I'm gonna stick with those. XPEV over 55, 60, 65. Okay, so 55. Let's watch it tomorrow. There's another momentum. So we have Apple, we have XPV, we have AMD, we have Nvidia, I think it is. We have some momentums that we got to watch tomorrow. Qualcomm probably. So add those to your list and make sure we're watching them in the morning. Once we see it moving, we call for the team and we just find an entry. Shouldn't be a problem. Ford, massive accumulation now. The 20, 19, 20 zone looks like people are paying up. Look at all this. I don't think this is people actually liquidating their positions in Ford. And this is the reason why. Look at the pattern. We have the overshoot to the short side, right? They have the new CEO. They started with the thing that they're going to become electric vehicles. So they jump into whatever's hot these days. This is the EVs. So we have a pullback right here. This is pretty technical. So we got 1, we got the 7, we got the 14, we got the pullback to the 13 and 14. That was the entry. We got the 20, 21, which is a target 1. So now what we're waiting is, I think, what was the target? 25 and 26 is that the target we have? 23 and 26. So 4 remains. We call it last time 2071, just adjusted. So it's going to be like 2081, 21 F over 21 for 23, which is 10%, and 26, which is 20% move. So 4 stays in our list. And then we have GM, which I haven't checked. GM, we were looking for 64 and 70. So that didn't trigger, right? This is the problem with the monthly. The monthly now looks like a, I don't want to say it, like a double top, but that's what it's looking for, right? Like it's looking like. So all of this here, so we couldn't break. So until we don't break, that's where my alert is, 60, 65, 70, 65, 12, right? 65, 70, most likely like 66, then we go 70, and that's that'll be the target. Like $70 is 127%. Not my favorite, to be honest, to mess with GM, unless we have, I remember that was a couple of days that we have the good action pre-market. I think this was 3 days that we traded, right, Kyle? We have like a couple good days of GM, and then it was like total mess.
That was nice.
Yeah. But yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like I remember, so like we talked to the guys and I was like, yeah, like Roku, I traded on a couple of days a year. Otherwise, it's just like, it's a total mess. So this is one of those. Like GM is like, oh my God, it's so hard to trade. So make sure you're in that the day that it's gonna go up, by the way. Pretty simple. So that's we did 4, we did the Neo still in range, and it's so 30. I mean, this chart is horrible. This one is another one that I hate to trade. It's terrible. I have my alert right there at 42, because once we start going 42, 45, I'll probably take a shot for 45, 55 based on the monthly. But when you come and look at this monthly, it's like horrible. Look at this. It's a wide range, right? So you can call it a tradable range, but when you come in here, into the daily chart, and all you see is like Christmas tree, right? Like red, green, red, red, green, red, green, red, green, you know, all of that. Then you have the massive volume. There's like a lot of people battling. So this is basically a big bull versus bear battle. Usually the question I ask myself when I try to do stupid things like trade this is, why would you trade that thing when you can trade this? So if tomorrow you decide to go buy NEO instead of Apple, you got to ask yourself, what is it that you're seeing? What makes this one a better trade? And and that's what I call, or with Kyle, we have come to a term, is like trade the beautiful charts, trade the most beautiful charts. Like if you're going to show it to someone, you're going to be like, look at this beautiful chart. You say, oh yeah, I see what you're doing. I assume you're going to go long, right? But with NEO, it's like, oh yeah, but I'm going to trade it 40.65 to 41.10. I get it. Yeah, you can trade it 40 to 39 too, but doesn't make it a good chart. So that's my call to action right there. Let's see, DDOG, UPST, Upstart, which is the financing thing for new companies. And we have this one. I don't know why we have this one. Anyways, I think we called it last time under 220. So that was a short. So that was like 220 for 170, which is a 200. So this could be a good short if we are in a bad market again. Why? This is the only reason why I have it here. Doesn't look like much, but this is where the second biggest volume is. This is the biggest volume. This is the second biggest volume. So once we start losing 202, 200 is at 177, but we can go 170 and we can go 124, right? So if I can get a good risk reward entry on this one, that's what I want to see. I want to see probably under, let's call it UPST under 200, or because I don't know if we gap down under 190. Target one, which is like a scalping target, like that'll be like 180, but the target is like 164. 180, 160. Let's see if we put the minus before, if it looks any cleaner for you guys. So basically this is what we're trying to do. We do this all the time, right? Once we start going over 187, we take it for here, which is the 50 MA, the 200 MA. And once you go over here, I'm pretty sure you're all going to be trading it and the target is going to be 126. So it's exactly the same, right? 160 to 126. And I know shorting is being so hard, but I think this is a good time to start at least polishing, or at least paper trading, or at least taking some notes that the market also goes down every now and then. DDOG, it's 200, and I think you're still waiting for that one. The all-time highs at 200. What's the main thing with DDOG? It's look at the daily, look at the monthly chart, and I think it needs a break. Right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 months into the breakout. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 months. We're in the 4th month, but the breakout took us from 68 to 100, I mean, to $200. I don't know what they do. They must be very good at doing it. Then when you come right here, you see that the volume is at 107, volume is at 93. So I don't know who's buying at 200, right? So then you come right here and then you start seeing the shades. So we have the shade right here, 193. Once we start going over 193, we can start probably posting in the room and say, hey, watch for the DOG over 193 for 199. And here's the other line in the sand that I want to have, right? 162, and I throw my dogs right there. I'm going to see, I don't have dogs right here. So I'm going to put the alert intraday. I want to check if there's a trade to be made. Basically what I'll be looking once I have my alert right here, 160. So you guys understand some of the alerts that I put, I'm going to be checking for the pullback, right? The pullback. So here we have the extension target that we hit it, by the way. And then we do the opposite and we do the reversal target. So the reversal target can throw us all the way to 135, 119. So once we start getting into these Fibonacci's, I want to make sure that I'm aware where we are as long as DDOG. So probably it's going to give us a good trade. So I don't know how it trades. I haven't traded in a while. C-Scaler, I think they're reporting earnings today or tomorrow, or they just reporting earnings. Yeah, they just reported earnings. So that's 367. So I was looking for 376. Let's see where we open tomorrow. And it's going to be probably a gap trade because of the chart pattern is not going to tell me much. So I just want to see if it's like the news, they can take it 376. So CS is a gap that we're going to be watching tomorrow if we take all-time highs. Otherwise, most likely I don't want to do it because we're going to stay in that range, 376 to 360. So don't really want to do it. Want something very, very easy tomorrow since I haven't traded in a couple of days. So that's what I want. CrowdStrike, I think they have news coming, earnings coming. 12/1, so that's going to be tomorrow after the market. So let's just watch it. But this one, yeah, this one looks like 200 probably. So yeah, momentum. Let's watch it. Wait for the let's wait for the earnings tomorrow. No need to pick it up. Team, not sure if you guys still trading this one, but what I want to see is this one right here, right? So what I want to see is the measure move right here. So 346, 313, how we react to that, the pullback. Here's 379. So we're pulling back into the 38%. Most likely, we're going to be testing the 345. So if this is your favorite trade, right? If you want to go short, momentum trade, this could be a good momentum trade through to 372. You take the short all the way to 340. Let's see. Yep, could be 372 to 340. I'm going to write it down. I don't trade this one too often, to be honest. I like what I like. Why am I bringing it? Is the pattern, right? We have the open space right here to fall. Looks like it's a good 30 points, which is like a 10% move. And I have the red indicator right here. So momentum is to the downside. Today was a big red day, 183%, but we have the market, we have the market with us. So that could be the reason why team is dropping, or it's just like, so team as a Momo to the downside, that could be one. Upwork, let me see. Because now I'm going to have to rely on you guys a lot for what you've been trading. I think trades that were in my radar today, TTD, right? That's a monthly. And that was basically a breakout play on a monthly over 100, went to 114, which is likely first target. So what I want to see is like we held at 100. So that was last week. Here's the volume. Yeah, 114, 135 TTD. And that's monthly breakout play. See the weekly. Be fast. Not great. Not great. But yeah, if we take 114, that means it's strong. So yeah, they're back into it. So I'll probably take just that one, 114, 135. Remember, that could be a gap. That could be one day and then tomorrow we'll take it. Of course, the vaccines, right? Here's the, you have no idea about the minus. Yeah. Oh, I think I explained it like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Anyways, so Moderna. So next time we get a text from Fauci, we gotta call it. Anyways, yeah, this is a reversal trade, right? So whoever got it right here, here's the green line. By the way, I don't know if we called it last time. Not sure it was in the game plan, but I haven't been up to my notes because of the holidays. So I'm not sure it was, but anyways, that's a green bar, that's a green line. So that's usually my indication. We were looking at this as this is the like the capitulation trade, sort of a pullback right here. This is what we talked. We broke the 200 MA. This is a good entry if you're swing target one right here. Then you got the news, so good for you. And here's the target. So we didn't go that far after that, 378. So that was a good momentum probably that day, right? Now, where do we go from here? So here's what I got it, like 391, I go 450, okay? So Myrna, 391 to 450. And I think that's the one I want. That's the main, right? Because what I'm looking is this is a monthly chart. So this is, I mean, this is horrible. This is way too much for my liking, but this is hammer. So basically there was a news. So this is the hammer. This is the tail that we should have been buying, but I didn't. Some of you did. So good job right there, being on top of this one trade. This is the monthly buy. This is the hammer, you long. So now don't get scared, because once we start getting 377, that's the monthly trigger, and we should be hitting the, what do I say? 450, 457, $500. Okay. So that's Moderna on a monthly. I know the other one that was the other vaccine, of course, is going to be Pfizer. So Pfizer, totally different chart than Moderna. Right here, this is the break point, 44.06, but this is a big tail right here. So when we took the tail, 51.82, that's the, sorry, didn't mean to do that. So this is the momentum trade right here, 51. I don't see a trade right there just yet. So probably 55.70, 55 or 57, but I don't see a trade right here, guys, unless you consider this one to be a bullish gap, right? But I don't consider that to be a bullish gap, basically based on the location, right? You're coming from here, 52, you gapping up 40, 54. Yeah, tough one, tough spot. It's like you're buying the highs. Anyway, so that's the Pfizer. So I'm gonna keep it up. I know Kyle, they had another news that the vaccine is less effective on new variant. Okay. CRM, was that 11:30 after? That was today, right? Oh, so gapping down to 68. So that's one to watch tomorrow. Watch 268. 268 will put us back into the range. So 268 to 52. Just keep that in mind, and we watch. We'll do it tomorrow, Kyle. We make sure that we double check what's up with this earnings report and plan for that one. Should be a problem. I think I missed one of, thank you guys for putting this one on the radar. Miss one of the EVs. So Li Auto earnings yesterday. So let's do the monthly buy right here, 36.81. Yep, I think 36.81 for a momentum trade. Yeah, that's a breakup play right here. Wow, they didn't even move it with the news. That's what I do, guys, in case you need some ideas into how to identify stuff. So when I have like a long term, or this is my entry point, I want to make sure that I'm aware. So when I see a green line, I don't get scared. I just know that it's time to push it. So 3660, that'll be my entry for 41. So Lee over 3665, 80. Doesn't matter. If you're going for 41, shouldn't matter, right? Not that I'm going, but like what I'm saying is like right at the open and you see like 20 cents up. So just measure your risk reward and make sure that, I mean, you have plenty of space. You don't know if it's going to stop at 37, by the way, but it could go to 41. So I'll be a little bit more aggressive than that, right? So we got the CRM, we got the Myrna, we got the TTD. I saw Hewlett Packard. I think they reported earnings last week. Yes, that was the news. That was a big news. Apparently, probably is going to move. So this is the monthly. We have a beautiful monthly chart right here that we weren't watching. Here's the pullback. So here's the entry, 30. Target one is 36, of course. So that's where we are. So probably the guys that held, into earnings about the 30, 36, they dump it. So now what we want to see is like a momentum trade over 36.50 for HPQ. Not sure. I haven't traded this one, so I don't know how this trades. I don't know if it's Momo. So my first filter will be the volume, right? So I know it's 20 million, so probably trades 10 million. So I don't want to trade this thing if we're not at 15 million for the day. Otherwise, not really interested, right? So make sure you know that are both what it is. Anything else, guys? Come on, hit me up with, how about, I don't know if the sell the batteries. Let's make a quick run right here. So F cell, look at the monthly. So keep an alert at 985 or probably around here, 945. And let's call it a monthly pattern right here. This is what I wanted, 1257 as target. So we didn't hit it. We hit like 1160, I think. So let's try and see if he's going to give us another trade, right? This one worked. Beautiful. So once we go over the 200 in May, look at the volume we have. So 945 for 11 for 1250 F cell. 945, 11, 1250. And I think 1260 also triggers a weekly breakout play. So you come right here, and this is how, not that I'm changing my ideas, but once I go over 1260, I go into my weekly chart and I don't care because I know it's probably go to 15. Okay. So that's one. MTTR. What is MTTR? MTTR. Maripor. Is that tradable? Options tradable and that stuff? Make sure. Monthlies. 23,000. Okay, MTTR. It's cool. We have the volume right here. We have this is a recent issue, right? Yeah. So if you're trading that one, you should be long in here, right? In here, all I can tell you is like momentum, right? Because you're already moving. So when we're moving, you just try to get into the move. So let's see the daily now. That was a good trade yesterday, and yeah, just momentum. 34.85. That should be your trade. So let's go with plug. Let's see plug. What's plug doing? Plug is I think we're trading also the monthly chart on plug. So we trigger the 4250. So 4250, 46. The good thing about it is 10%. I'll probably take that one, right? On a good day. On a good day, plug 4250, 46. Over 46 is a breakout play, and we go for 50. So over 46 for 50. Okay, that's plug. MP, that's materials, right? Yeah, I like that one. So if it works, 4680. Yeah, we should hit all-time highs. 46 for 52 MP. Okay. Plug, FSLR, Blink, EMPH. How about the horrible Disney? My God. Hey, sorry, Hassan. You call it short. I didn't see it, but this is bad, man. It's just, I don't like trading intraday. So if you hold it, beautiful trade. So Hassan asked me about this short. I said I didn't see much of a target, but well, it's right there. Yeah. Anyways, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have the volume right here, 142. Yeah, I don't like trading Disney. Here's the other streamer, Netflix, not a problem, man. Roku. So Roku, look at the pattern. We can probably start looking for a reversal pattern on this one for a quick trade in Roku. So 240, 238, 240 for 260. Roku, reversal. Please write it, reversal. I don't want you to overcommit into that one. I don't want you guys to hold the swing unless it's really working. So if you hold the swing, please make sure that you have a great entry, right? And whatever contracts you leave overnight, they're already in the money. Don't leave any if you're not making money already intraday. You have to be up, right, to hold them. So you minimize your risk. Let's do a little bit of the travel. Yeah, Benny, I was gonna go there. So I got Expedia that we were trying to do that tradable range. We have a tradable range between 175 and 192 off a daily base. So we're way far. Now what we have is we're back near the point of control. So what I want to see is once we start getting point of control over the 200, over the 50 MA, I want that trade probably, right? That's going to be a small trade because it's going to be 170, 174. The trade I really want is the same pattern right here, 175, 195. But we have the news. So I don't know, just keep alerts at 168, 170, 175, 180. It's like every single, I hate calling those things, right? Like every 2 cents, every 2%, sorry. So this is Airbnb, and try to look at this, rejected at prior highs, 213, 219, tried, it looked great, rejected. That was a week when Airbnb reported, Expedia reported, airlines run, everybody run, and it was all BS, basically. It looks, from the look of the chart, it looks like it was a trap. So we're back into square one, into accumulation zone. So we start seeing, I'll say 184, 190, probably 190 to 212 would be a good trade. Like at least I want to see regain the 20 MA, right? We're thinking big trades, right? So 190, 212, Airbnb. How's the Zito, what is it? Soetis, Cayman Islands. Express, Cayman Islands. Well, 27.38, that's a range on a monthly. So if you get a good entry, like 32 for 38, I'm not familiar with the trade. Let me go to AAL. So that's the airlines. I still want to be over all of this volume. So I want to be over 22. So I know you're going to be losing like a good, it's a good 25% move, but this is where I wanted, 22. Can you trade it? Absolutely. If you see it tomorrow, 18, you can go for 19, 10%. That's where I have my green line right there, right? Because it was like sort of a support based on this one, but the real trade I want to be in is once we start to going over 22. Remember, we spent a lot of time, and I used to talk about for like I don't know if it was a year ago, right? So when you see it around here, you're like, yeah, but that's never going to happen, right? You just keep it there, put your alerts, put your notes, it'll start moving, and then we get it, and then you get like a really good move, right? It's the same with this one. I don't know when it's going to move. I like it. Probably the 22 is going to be the easier, because everybody's going to be seeing it from 22 to 26. Now, can you trade it 18 to 19? Of course, on a good day, you can trade it. You can trade on a good day. You can trade any trade, any stock, by the way. So here's CCL. This is same. Like these guys are back into pretty much pandemia, right? Like not COVID, because it was like $7. That was like panic selling. But look, this is where they were starting accumulating, and we can see it right here. It's 1660, right? So we're like 1 point off point of control. Of course, 1 point on this one is like 10%. So we have a risk. Let's say if you're buying this thing for longer term, your risk is like 10%, right? And you should be able to make a double, 17 to 30. So 10 to 100, right? So here Hassan again, he's gonna short Boeing. So I'm not gonna tell you that no, but the monthly, let me go to the weekly, because I know you do your homework, man. So when you say this, yeah, I cannot short. I cannot short it right there, because I have point of control at 176. Again, like 20 points. I hate trading BA, in case you didn't know, but I hate trading the stock. It's horrible trading. So if we're thinking shorting this thing, probably around here, the 220, but here we are at 3 standard deviations already. So it looks like it's oversold, but it's not, because we can go like 175. So it's difficult, man. So when I don't see it like that clearly, I just say, I don't know, which is fine for me. I learned how to say, I don't know. So DraftKings, I know it's like horrible now. Pan, I don't want to go into those. Come on, guys. Let me what's hitting your scanner for tomorrow? Like this is the one we cannot. How's the Maras and the Riots and all the difficult ones? Mara, I like Mara. I think we have this. That alert right there, 57, 57.20 over this. That hasn't triggered. 57, 59, 72, right? We'll be trading this weekly chart, monthly chart. I'm sorry. Like that's a breakout. Already went. So I'm probably trying to capture just some momentum right here. 56, 59, 65. Mara. You can always fine tune those levels, right? You can go into your 60-minute chart. You can like, cause right here, I don't want to spend too much time being so exact. Like 55 is a prior day high, 55.94, 56.26, 56. So what I call is like, yeah, over 57.85, you should be in the trade, right? But you can probably take it over 55 if that's a trigger based on your strategies, right? Cannot tell you how to trade intraday, right? Not on this venue actually, because this is more like having the longer term perspective of what could work, where is it that we want to be looking. Riot. Riot over 40, over 42. I'll probably be willing to take this over 40, 41. So 41 for 46. Riot. I'm gonna check the pot right now. 41 for 46. Let me see. What's your favorite pot? CGC. Yeah, they're doing new lows, man. So those are another ones, right? They reported couple days run. This is reversal. We're trading against the trend. The trend is down, so we try to make it. And here, boom, new low. So that's the power of the trend, guys. We tend to forget like the power of the trend, and I love trending stocks, right? This is a downtrend, by the way, right? We're always thinking, oh, let me pick like this one right here. That was another reversal trade that we try to do. We have the, that day that went crazy with the news, jumped to 25. Look at this, still downtrending, right? From 53 all the way to 15. So this should close the gap at 1684, not because all the gap closes, but because this is the number one bar sideways. And now we're breaking again the 50 MA. So that could be a good momentum trade. 1675, if that's one of the ones that you like to trade. 18 for 16, triple BY. They're 18 for 16. I don't know GME what it's doing. I know I was waiting for the breakout. It didn't happen right there. So there it is. 245, 255. Again, I'm gonna put my alerts right there, right? We're still in the range. So this is, I don't know if ever it's gonna move. Moves probably Palantir. Oh, eBay was strong today, right? Yes, I saw eBay. Yes. That's the second day play on watch. 300% volume. See the weekly. What do we see here, guys? Anybody has any clues? You can write it. Like, I don't see a pattern. Might be missing something. I know, like today we went down, and I know there's a lot of volume right here at 66. So once we break 66, more selling might come. So we'll be like probably 66.85, 66 for momentum trade. Let's do momentum trade right there. That's all I can say. Dog, now you know the minus, right? Oh, Benny, sorry. Benny, you know the minus now, right? Yeah, you just put the minus. Like if you don't see it, you're like, okay, this is what we're trying to do. Minus 66 for 60. Yeah, minus 66 for 60. Yep. But I put it here. eBay minus under 66 for 60. That's a 10% move. And it's a second day play. Makes a difference, guys. When we name it like, it's one of my favorite strategies. Been doing it for some years now. BLNK. BLNK. Line. Blink. No, blink. Blink charging. I like the volume here. 2 big volume days, green. Pull back on lower than average volume. I like that. Point of control. I like that. Weekly chart. I like the weekly chart. This is a tradable range. Let's call it a tradable range. Let's do 38 for 44. Let's call it 40, which is the point of control. So BLNK 40 for 45 T1, 50 T2. I like that one. Let's call it a weekly. What's the pattern? We're doing sort of a pullback inside a range, weekly range. Yeah, but it's a tradable range because from 40 to 45 is like 10% to 50. That's like a 25%. So that's what I'm willing to consider that one. Pretty good. Thank you, Kyle, for blinking. What else we have, guys? The coins, all of that stuff. Oh, the Twitter. I know it was weak. 7:02. I'm talking about the time, guys. So I know everybody's tired. So let's check. So that's a second day play. That was a short yesterday, whatever the news was. Second day play today. So for tomorrow is going to be hard, right? But and I know Twitter is another one that is hard to trade. Oh, look at that. We're testing the 200 MA, 41.74. 41.74. I don't want to call it a reversal, guys, but that volume yesterday was huge. Here's what I'm going to do. Based on yesterday's volume of 80 million and today at 40 million, location at 200 MA, right there, 41.85, right? I want to see any sign of bullishness. My first sign of bullishness will be, of course, if we gap down and we take 43, that'll be number one. But the one I want to be on top is if we can manage to be over 46. I want to see if some people are going to get trapped, some late shorters, because at least 46 can give us a 50% retracement of this big red bar on that huge volume of 80 million. That'll give us 46 to 49. So that's decent. That's like a 9% intraday move. Okay. So Twitter, I'm going to put it right there as a reversal. Break dog for 50% fib on the big on day one, right? That's the only way I'll remember, right? What I'm doing. So yep, this is it. Once I start taking, if I gap down, I'm gonna be looking at the 200, which is at 40.41. If it holds, I'll probably take it. That'll be my best entry. If we gap up tomorrow and we go like 46, I'll probably also take it. 46 to 48. Yeah, could be. So that's it, guys. 7:05. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving with their families. You all rested because we got one more month to go. Okay, guys. So let's make this hangouts. I think always pay, guys. Last one we have some really good trades. So hopefully this one's not gonna be any different. And we meet again in 15 days to close the year, guys. This is it. Start working on your game plans too. I saw a lot of people joining the team on a yearly basis. So that's amazing knowing that you guys are committed. So that's part of the commitment. The next one is start planning on your game plans. If you need any help with game plans, goals, setting goals, talk to Kyle or myself, DM us. Send us whatever is it that you want to share with us, the goals, what do you want to do next year? It's important. This is the time. Then we on vacation, then we're drinking champagne, and then we forget, okay? So this is the time. Okay,
right, Mario,
guys.
thank you.
Okay, guys, see you tomorrow.